I'm a 34-year-old single mum with 2 kids, one of whom is autistic. Life is already a whirlwind of chaos between work, school, appointments, and everything else that comes with raising my boys. There are days when I feel completely overwhelmed. I love my kids fiercely, but the demands on my time and energy can be exhausting. On top of that, I've been bending over backwards for my parents for as long as I can remember. It started innocently enough with small things. I'd drop off groceries when I was already out, help them with little tasks around the house, or take care of some errands. I didn't mind, they're my parents, after all. It felt natural to help them when they needed it. But slowly, the requests turned into demands, and what started as helpful gestures became an obligation. If something broke in their house, I was the first person they called, no matter what I was in the middle of. If the grass needed cutting or the laundry was piling up, they expected me to come over and take care of it. They even started asking for small loans here and there, claiming they were struggling financially, even though they both work part-time. They never seemed to have money for the things they wanted, but I knew they could cut back on unnecessary expenses. Still, every time I would bring it up, they'd act helpless and dismiss my concerns. Their dependence on me started to feel suffocating. I often felt like I was walking a tightrope trying to balance my own responsibilities with their increasingly demanding expectations. Any time I hinted that I was too tired or busy to help, they'd roll out the "we did so much for you when you were growing up" speech. The guilt would wash over me like a tidal wave. It felt like they were holding my childhood over my head as a way to manipulate me into feeling indebted to them. The last straw came last weekend. I was exhausted after a long week, and I had plans to spend some quality time with my kids. On Saturday morning at 7 a.m. my phone rang. It was my mom, and the urgency in her voice was palpable. She told me I needed to come over immediately to help them clean out their entire basement. No warning, no consideration for my plans or my well-being, just a demand. I took a deep breath and said, "Mom, I can't come over right now. I have things to do today." But she wouldn't hear it. "Well, I guess you don't care about us anymore then," she replied, her tone dripping with disappointment. In that moment, something inside me snapped. I realized I was tired of being the fallback, the one they turned to for every little thing. I found my voice and said, "You need to stop relying on me for everything. I have my own responsibilities, and I can't keep bailing you out. I can't be there every second." My mum's reaction was immediate. She started crying, telling me I was heartless and that they never thought I'd treat them this way. My dad jumped in, saying they were getting older and needed my help more than ever. The guilt washed over me again, but this time I fought it. I stayed firm, telling them that I couldn't keep sacrificing my time and energy for their needs. After that conversation, they basically cut me off. They told me they were disappointed and felt abandoned. Part of me felt relieved. I had finally stood up for myself after years of feeling trapped. But another part of me was riddled with guilt. Maybe I should have just sucked it up and gone over to help them. Was I really heartless for wanting to establish some boundaries? I spent the rest of the weekend in a haze, oscillating between relief and guilt. I wanted to believe I had done the right thing, that I deserved to prioritize my own family and my own needs. But the emotional fallout from my parents' reaction weighed heavily on me. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was losing a part of my family, that I was somehow responsible for their pain. As the days went by, I found myself questioning my choices. Had I really abandoned them, or was I just finally setting boundaries? I thought about my kids, and the example I wanted to set for them. I didn't want them to feel trapped in relationships where their needs came last. But at what cost? Now I'm left grappling with the fallout. I know I needed to assert myself, to reclaim my time and energy, but the emotional toll has been significant. I'm reaching out, trying to find clarity amid the chaos, hoping I can find a way to navigate this new dynamic with my parents while still being the mother my kids need.